Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star original continent based on novel. So let's start. All the 6 children surrounded Shushin, cheering, and Shushin was also happily playing with them. Luo Feng smiled and watched. With his help, his wife had gotten out of the eternal body and transferred her soul to another body. And in a long period of time, Shushin had become undying. However, after becoming undying, Shushin didn't want to practice anymore. In fact, with the valuables provided by Luo Feng, Shushin could easily become a universe knight if she put forth some effort. She was not, however, into practicing. I knew you were coming to this star sector, and you're indeed here, Shushin said. She then walked toward Luo Feng. The children knew that their father god and mother god were talking, so they left them alone. Luo Feng nodded. I created them, so they're technically my children. I'm here to check on them. You have a lot of children. Flesh and blood type, energy type, and plant type, said Shushin jokingly. Unfortunately, Luo Feng said with a sigh, they can't breed. You created those creatures randomly, and they can reach universe level easily, said Shushin. If you actually put in some effort, those creatures could become sector lords easily. If they could breed, how could the other races hope to live? The territories would all be occupied by the creatures you created. Luo Feng nodded. He knew that the creatures he could easily create couldn't reproduce. A thought struck Luo Feng. Shushin noticed Luo Feng's facial expression, and could tell that Luo Feng had found inspiration. He looked pleased. What happened? Asked Shushin. I have an idea. Luo Feng was exhilarated. What idea? Asked Shushin. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Both 9 remoteness master, and I have the gift of creation, so both of us are able to create one life after another. Although the creatures we create are powerful, none of them are able to procreate. It is much different to grant life forms the ability to procreate. All this time, my godly body has stopped improving and can't progress. I haven't even known how to improve myself. Now, I have an idea. Life forms. Reproduction. Luo Feng was thrilled. He continued, it's very difficult for me to create life forms that can propagate. I need to have a more thorough understanding of life structures. Once I do that, it'll help me to better improve my godly body. Even in the ancient civilization, there were only a few who had become true gods after having their life gene level reach 90,000 times. Although there were methods documented in Duandong River about the godly power path, Luo Feng's life gene level had already reached 60,000 times, so most of the methods were useless, and the helpful ones couldn't be implemented. Luo Feng was kind of stuck. He could only study the life structure pictures of true gods. But now, he had found a different way. He would study the life structure pictures, and create life forms at the same time. Following 2 methods at the same time could help him greatly improve himself. Reaching 90,000 times on the godly power path was more difficult than becoming a true god of void space, and it would take a long time. Billions of eras were only the blink of an eye. From the 3rd era since the world of Jin appeared, the great beings from the United Forces Alliance and Purple Moon Holy Land were slaughtered in the world of Jin. All the powers in Universe Ocean were intimidated, and the United Forces Alliance disintegrated automatically. They all migrated and retreated. Purple Moon Holy Land also kept a low profile, and ceased messing with the humans. The humans immediately expanded, occupying half of the original universe. It was the start of a human boom. The 6th era, the first true master from the Divine Eye clan obtained a machine-type valuable, and after the news spread, all the powers in Universe Ocean were jealous. They all worked harder in the world of Jin, seeking to acquire machine-type valuables. Those who obtained machine-type valuables were all from the Special Army, and there were no exceptions. This prerequisite alone was already a hurdle to many powers. Otherwise, those great beings certainly could have exchanged their valuables for military credits, and together with the military credits they earned themselves, they could have gotten machine-type valuables already. In the 7th era, Luo Feng met the first true master in Universe Ocean. The first true master challenged him, because he knew from the three ancestral gods that Luo Feng was deemed the most powerful great being in Universe Ocean, but the first true master couldn't believe it. Nobody watched the fight. Luo Feng fought the first true master, who had been the most powerful great being in Universe Ocean before the rise of Luo Feng, except Teacher Origin, who was suppressed. Now that he had obtained a burning power technique and a machine-type valuable, he was mighty. Nobody knew the result of that fight, but they all knew that the battle had happened. After that fight, Divine Eye Clan immediately became an ally of the humans, and the first true master became friends with Luo Feng. The outer world had no idea what had happened, but Luo Feng knew very clearly that the fight had resulted in a tie in the end. When it came to attacking power, the first true master of the Divine Eye Clan, Divine Eye True Master, was at an advantage. However, when it came to godly bodies, Luo Feng had the advantage. And besides, Luo Feng was better at close combat and defense. So it was indeed a nail-biter, but it had ended in a tie. Of course, if they had fought long enough, Luo Feng could have won by burning his godly body, but the first true master surely could have left by riding his supreme true treasure. It was indeed a tie, and there was no winner in that fight. Besides, the sector beasts were a threat to all the great beings, so Luo Feng treated the fight against the first true master as a trial. They both understood that they were indispensable in dealing with sector beasts. I can easily kill true gods, thought Luo Feng, but when facing beings like first true master, who have godly power burning techniques and machine-type valuables, it's a hard time for me. Even if I perform one thought void space, I can only suppress him instead of defeating him. He hadn't used his Shawu wings during that fight. One thought void space was used to bind enemies. Divine Eye True Master was great at direct attacks, so even if he was bound, he would still be better than Luo Feng. Divine Eye True Master didn't need to dodge, even if he were bound. In the 12th era, Bei Kai Star Master obtained a machine-type valuable. In the time following by that era, one true god after another from Universe Ocean entered the world of Jin, and they all worked hard. Some of them died, but some were very impressive. Gradually, they obtained machine-type valuables. Under the harsh training of the military, the great beings from Universe Ocean started to manifest their true potential. The potential and comprehension of the great beings from Universe Ocean were apparently higher. In the 91st era, Luo Feng was exhilarated to learn that his teacher, True Yang Knight, had become a Universe Master. He was the third human Universe Master born, after Luo Feng obtaining the inheritance of Duan Dong River. From the 91st era to the 1003rd era, some Universe Masters were born in the human race, but no Universe Supreme Masters were born. In the 1003rd era, the second Universe Supreme Master was born, Peng Gong True God. Even among the human great beings, it was surprising that Peng Gong had become a true god. Under the will of the original mind, the three ancestral gods did not take care to keep the secret that Luo Feng was the most powerful great being in Universe Ocean. As a result, the word began to spread. No one knew the result of the fight between the first true master and Luo Feng, but the first true master did not deny that Luo Feng was the strongest great being, which verified the original mind's claim. All the races expected Luo Feng to be the second true god born, or at least the brother of Primal Chaos City Leader, Darkness Master. Instead, it was Peng Gong Master, who had kept a low profile the whole time. In the 3402nd era, after studying life structure pictures for a long time, Luo Feng finally created a life form that could procreate. The creatures looked like humans, but they were weak. Although they were weaker than the Earthlings, they could at least propagate. Luo Feng had finally made a breakthrough. 3 eras after that, his godly body was improved from 60,000 times to 69,000 times. Then it reached 72,000 times. In the 13,000th era, a new Universe Master was born from the Earthlings, Hong. Hong, who had always been modest, finally became a Universe Master after 10,000 eras with the guidance of the ancient civilization. He was a peerless genius, but he was constantly outshone by Luo Feng. If not for Luo Feng, he would have certainly been one of the top-tier beings in the human race. There were 32 universe masters in the human race now. From then on, there were 2 universe masters among the Earthlings, and there were 9 universe knights, including Thunder God. In the 39,000th era, Huyangbo was admitted into the Virtual Universe Company, and he became a universe knight with the guidance of the ancient civilization. In fact, those who were able to become emperors and officials without the ancient civilization's guidance were all highly gifted. Loners like Huyangbo, who had no one to guide them, created their techniques by themselves, so they were talents. Now that they had guidance from great beings and the ancient civilization, it was commonplace for them to make breakthroughs, and many universe knights were born in the human race in this period of time. Many great beings, who were stuck at pinnacle emperors, also became universe knights with the help of the ancient civilization. Numerous great beings had achieved breakthroughs over the past tens of thousands of eras, and there were already over 50,000 universe knights in the human race. In the 39,800th era, Luo Feng got the news from Barbata revealing where Devil Hand Emperor Suo Luo Pu was. This revelation stunned Luo Feng. Devil Hand Emperor had killed Huyangbo, and Luo Feng had killed him after he had become stronger, or so he had thought. He hadn't expected to learn that Devil Hand Emperor was still alive. However, Huyangbo, who had become a universe knight, had gone on to hunt Suo Luo Pu down. Devil Hand Master was exposed because the humans were too powerful. The humans themselves occupied half the core territory of the original universe, and the subsidiaries of Luo Feng, as in the other races in the Hong Alliance, occupied most of the leftover territories. The influence of the human race was invisible, but indeed enveloped the entire original universe. Although Suo Luo Pu hid in a remote location, many great beings knew him, and a human great being who had gone on an adventure found him. Devil Hand Master should have been long dead. Why was he still alive? That news caught Luo Feng's attention. However, Huyangbo went after Suo Luo Pu, and after some twists, Huyangbo killed Suo Luo Pu after a hunt that lasted 3 eras. In the 53,000th era, Luo Feng's son, Luo Hai, finally became a universe knight. He was the 3rd universe knight of the Luo family. Although Luo Feng had 2 sons, Luo Ping had always lacked interest and focus in various aspects, during cultivation, relying on external help like treasures to barely become an undying fighter. As for Luo Hai, he may have given his best, but he had not encountered many setbacks along the way. After all, his father, Luo Feng, had unknowingly given him a lot of help, even if he had not purposely intended to. There were always some great beings, who would try hard to please or flatter Luo Feng. Thus, Luo Hai had not been forced to struggle through enough setbacks. Even if he was an impressive talent, he would never be as dazzling as Luo Feng and Hong. Even with the help from various parties, cultivating to become a universe knight might be his peak, commented Luo Feng. If he ever wanted to become a universe master, it would take a miracle. An extraordinary talent was truly not that easy to come by. For a long time, the population of the pulse of the Luo family grew at an extremely shocking rate. Naturally, the birth of talents was also plentiful. Even before Luo Hai, 2 others had already become universe knights. However, out of these numerous so-called talents, none caught Luo Feng's eyes. By his reckoning, even in ideal conditions, reaching the level of a universe knight would be their peak. If such conditions were not provided, and without the ancient inheritance, these first 3 to become universe knights, including his son Luo Hai, would stop at the level of undying fighters. Finally, in the 91,000th era, an extraordinary talent finally emerged within the pulse of the Luo family named Luo Zhen. He was a truly stunning talent, who originally had not enjoyed any status in the Luo family. He was merely a young fellow who lived on an exiled star, yet he had quickly risen. Then, finally, he managed to attract Luo Feng's attraction. Luo Feng briefly conducted a test, and was delighted with the result. The total area of Luo Feng's territory, and some other deserted grounds on the universe, was comparable to a Ganwu universe. Within this vast land, there had finally been the birth of a talent who met his expectations. Luo Feng took this Luo Zhen as his disciple right away. This was Luo Feng's first formal disciple. Many other universe masters who were higher-ups from the human race, even Primal Chaos City leader himself, had been trying to persuade Luo Feng to take in his own disciples. He was, after all, a #1 master in Universe Ocean. Many groups of powers within the human race were very eager to send the talents from their own camps to Luo Feng, but Luo Feng was never eager to become a teacher. Besides, the birth of an extraordinary talent was not easy to come by. This was why Luo Feng had let the matter drag on endlessly. This time, Luo Feng was formally ready to take in a disciple. The only thing was, Luo Feng had very stringent requirements for his disciples, which was not secondary to what Primal Chaos City leader expected of his disciples. Even for someone as close to him as his own son, Luo Hai, Luo Feng made no exceptions. This went to show how demanding and stringent he was. In the 91,200th era, Luotian Ni finally became a universe knight. Luo Feng was especially strict with his principles, which delayed the entire progress. Otherwise, Luotian Ni would have achieved his breakthrough long ago. In the 330,000th era, within the human race in the territory of the Primal Prison clan, another extraordinary human talent, Fire Dome, was born. In the wild, he arose. Incomparably dazzling, he attracted many human universe masters to vie for him as their disciple. When Luo Feng finally stepped onto the scene, these two extraordinary talents unquestionably became his disciples. When Luo Feng showed up, the other universe masters no longer put up any objection. Even Fire Dome was very excited to have Luo Feng as his teacher. In fact, on the peak where Luo Feng, Primal Chaos City leader, and Pengong True God stood, there was no need for them to take in disciples to establish their footing and power, given their status. Luo Feng's decision to take in disciples was because he had taken a fancy for Fire Dome's talent. He felt that this Fire Dome was a good candidate as heir to the legacy of his senior, Jiefanzi, which was not easy to come by. Fire Dome was also extremely skilled in water law and fire law. The set of lost knowledge that Jiefanzi had created, in Luo Feng's perspective, was superior. If he personally imparted Jiefanzi's knowledge, too, further combined with Fire Dome's innate talent, Fire Dome was bound for great achievements. The 1,910,000th century, the human race saw the birth of its third true god, Darkness True God. Darkness Master had finally achieved his breakthrough to become a true god. This was something that the great beings of the human race had expected. The various groups of top powers within Universe Ocean had expected this, too. It was just that they were filled with doubts as to why Luo Feng had yet to achieve his breakthrough. In the 9,200,000th era, Luo Feng created another race. This race was capable of multiplying in number, and could likewise be considered as part of the human race. Luo Feng had created a human-like, flesh and blood life form intentionally. After all, he was himself a human, which had naturally led him to study a race that bore a similarity to the human race. When this race reached maturity, it could reach Star Traveler level right away, which was considered highly outstanding. To be able to create life forms that could reproduce, this was a breakthrough that brought tremendous progress to Luo Feng's life structure diagram. Thereafter, he underwent multiple breakthroughs. His life gene level skyrocketed from 72,000 times to 79,000 times, then went up to breakthrough to 83,000 times before finally reaching a bottleneck of 85,000 times, where it came to a halt. Time passed. Previously, there were undying godly souls who remained at the status quo for a long period of time, and the total accumulated to a large number. With the help of the inheritance of the ancient civilization, many became universe knights. Simultaneously, many universe knights also broke through to become universe masters. This enabled the number of human universe masters to continuously increase. However, the number of true gods increased at a greatly reduced rate. In the 100 millionth era, the human race saw the birth of the fourth true god, Deserted Mirror True God. In the 700 millionth era, the human race saw the birth of the fifth true god, Qingdong True God. In the millionth era, after Qingdong Master broke through to become a true god, Luo Feng's second disciple, Fire Dome, unexpectedly achieved a breakthrough to become the sixth true god of the human era. What a miracle! Fire Dome had gone under Luo Feng's tutelage after Luozhen Ni, who was the first disciple. Luozhen Ni was the first to become a universe master, with Fire Dome following closely to become a universe master, too. No one would have expected Fire Dome to become a true god within a time span close to 700 million eras after becoming a universe master. This sparked a heated discussion within Universe Ocean. The topic was all about how Luo Feng's disciple had already become a true god, yet he, the teacher, had yet to become one. In the 12th era, the human race saw the birth of the 7th true god, Ice Mountain True God. Ice Mountain Master had finally become a true god. The 19th era, the human race saw the birth of the 8th true god, Long Yang True God. Long Yang Master was an aged universe master, who had previously been a follower of teacher Origin. He, too, had finally achieved a breakthrough. In fact, the group of aged universe masters like him had all become universe masters, without the help of the inheritance of the ancient civilization. Now, with all kinds of available help, an 80 to 90% success rate of becoming a true god was simply a matter of course. On the contrary, for their descendants, especially those who had depended on the guidance of the ancient civilization to become universe masters, they were certainly a notch lower in terms of potential. The 10 billionth era was considered to be the breakout period for the humans. The accumulation over endlessly long years had an unprecedented explosion during this century. This caused the number of human universe masters to soar up to 239, while the number of universe supreme masters soared up to 21. The skyrocketing within these 10 billion eras was mainly because there was such a rich accumulation to work with in the first place, thus allowing the breakout within such a short period of time. The humans were not the only ones who had entered a breakout period. The other groups within the primal universe and groups within Universe Ocean were also experiencing breakouts. After all, the inheritance of the ancient civilization was indeed a great help to them. It was just that they did not receive an inheritance as great as the humans, and the information they had was not as detailed. Furthermore, they did not own as many treasures as compared to the humans. After all, Luo Feng was only second to the godly king in the world of Jin. Many of the treasures he had acquired from there were all sent back to his race. Even if this was so, for the demons, the number of universe masters soared to 52, and the number of true gods reached 4. Originally, there had only been 2. For the Bug clan, the number of universe masters also reached 32, and the number of true gods reached 2. For the automaton race, the number of universe masters reached 39, and the number of true gods was 3. For the Prison clan, the number of universe masters reached 78, and the number of true gods was 4. For the Crystal clan, the number of universe masters reached 49, and the number of true gods was 5. As for the Hong Alliance, those races, which had originally been vassal races of the humans, underwent another round of great expansion. Although the humans had intentionally kept them under suppression and deliberately slowed down the development of the vassal races, these vassal races of the humans already had a few hundred universe masters to start with. At that moment, the number of universe masters from these vassal races reached 1,220 while the number of true gods was 7. In fact, the different races within the Hong Alliance could only have 1,220 universe masters in the first place. This was due to the suppression by the humans and the selections by the world of Jin. Thanks to the ancient civilization, in the first 100 eras, the whole of Universe Ocean underwent an explosive growth spurt. The first and second reincarnation eras were no longer able to give rise to true gods, but there was a large batch of universe masters rising within them. These newly appointed universe masters naturally followed in the stead of their preceding fellow universe masters, as they charged toward the world of Jin with murderous intentions. Luo Feng held supreme power in the world of Jin, so although there were past instances when a handful of races had provoked and challenged the humans' authority due to matters related to territory, Luo Feng was quick to mete out severe punishment within the world of Jin. So no one dared to provoke or challenge the human authority. In the following years, the development of all the powerful groups in Universe Ocean slowed down noticeably. After all, the accumulation from the previous eras had completely erupted in the past 10 billion eras. As with the humans, great beings were able to emerge, all thanks to the births of talents. Luckily, the human territory was large enough to accommodate these numerous births. The first 10 billion eras was a period of explosive growth. The population of the entire universe ocean grew tremendously. But as the trillionth era approached, the rate of growth slowed down. In the 1.6 trillionth era, the human race saw the birth of the 23rd true god, Hong. Hong, an extraordinary figure from the pulse of Earth, was only secondary to Luo Feng. He had finally crossed over to join the ranks of the true gods. This also raised great concern from the various groups of powers within Universe Ocean. What they were concerned about was the fact that Hong's brother, Luo Feng, who had the greatest influence over the entire human race, and was a number one master within Universe Ocean, was still merely a universe master. Why? The race that I created, once it matures, can reach star level right away. My life gene level had already reached 89,999 times. Just a little bit more. This is really a fraction of a difference. Luo Feng knew that this was an extremely tough step to take. One could not underestimate the subtle difference between 89,999 times and 90,000 times. In terms of skills, there appeared to be little difference. Yet there was a fundamental leap in the level of life genes. Leading up to the trillionth era, Luo Feng was stuck at this level, and just could not seem to achieve a breakthrough. And within the trillionth era, the 3 shots made by Luo Feng made it evidently clear that he wielded a terrifying power that placed him at the absolute superior position in Universe Ocean. It was enough to instill fear and send shudders through the various powerful groups. As a universe master, he was already top of the pile in Universe Ocean. If he became a true god, how incredible would that be? It was the 1630 billionth era. Within Universe Ocean, 2 true gods finally joined forces. And for the first time, they set off for the nest of the Sector Beast, the Land of Darkness. There were 2 true gods headed to the nest where all the Sector Beasts lived, known as the Land of Darkness. They were Hong, who had become a true god 30 billion eras prior, and I Devil God from the first Universe era in Universe Ocean. Compared to other true gods from Universe Ocean, they were only average true gods. However, they had 2 things in common. They both had machine-type valuables. And they both had strong willpower. They both traveled toward the Land of Darkness in true god spaceships, yet they were attacked by Sector Beasts at the periphery of Land of Darkness. The chaos air-filled Universe Ocean. Within it, other than the 4 lands of Extremis, there were other dangerous palaces. Some of the places were residences created by true gods, such as Juhi Ocean. Juhi Ocean was originally called Golden Sand Ocean. Although true gods weren't afraid of it, they didn't dare to enter recklessly. Juhi true god's power, however, had been greatly improved since entering the world of Jinn, and he had roamed Golden Sand Ocean. He had even placed a palace true treasure at the center of Golden Sand Ocean, making it into his place of residence. Be careful. Teacher is inviting the other 7 supreme beings in Universe Ocean. Pay close attention. A universe master, who had a pair of copper-colored horns on his head, was yelling at the universe knights under him. Yes. Yes. All the universe knights were respectful. The universe master with the copper-colored horns nodded. Go prepare. The universe knights scattered, transmitting their voices excitedly. Juhi true god was a lone, low-key true god from the second universe era. He had been practicing for a long time, and special life forms were his vassals. He immediately allocated some universe knights from his miniature universe, as he was going to greet 7 other great supreme beings. The other supreme beings are arriving. I can't believe we can also see the other supreme beings in Universe Ocean. With our teacher, there are 8 supreme beings. They are coming. All the universe knights were looking forward to it. After a long time, 2 streaks of light arrived. Ha ha. Divine Eye, Bei Kai, I can't believe you arrived here together. A giant, barefoot god with fiery skin walked out of his palace. He trod across the space with his great feet, taking huge steps, and strange, fiery flowers blossomed under his feet with each step he took. There were dozens of small, golden horns on his head, and there was a golden horn on his head. All his eyes gleamed with green light. "Aren't they still here? You guys arrived here first. The others might be coming." Juhi greeted them by themselves. The three conversed as they walked into the palace. After Divine, True Master and Beikai Star Master arrived, Skeleton Master arrived as well, followed by Nine-Headed Demon Master. Three beings arrived like three streaks of light. Skeleton Master, Divine True Master, Beikai Star Master, and Nine-Headed Devil Master arrived first. Juhi True God greeted them all one by one. Three streaks of light flew in from a distance and became three beings. One was a man wearing a golden cape. He had a faint smile on his face, and his eyes were gleaming with a dim, golden light. There was also a middle-aged man, looked wicked and eerie. He looked pale with black engravings on his face. In the middle was a man in a white cape who appeared quite ordinary. He glanced around, and there was unimaginable magical power contained in his eyes. Juhi True God and Divine, True Master both missed a heartbeat, just looking him in the eyes. One of them was Primal Chaos City Leader, the person in charge of the first power in Universe Ocean. One was Nine Remoteness True Master, representing the second power in the original universe, the Ancestral God School, and he was undying. The third one was acknowledged as the strongest great being in Universe Ocean, and also had the highest authority in the world of Jinn, Milky Way Horde Leader. Chaos, Nine Remoteness, Milky Way, welcome. The other five greeted them. The power dynamics in Universe Ocean completely changed. The ancient civilization had greatly improved the chance of true gods being born, and only the original universe could breed true gods. Now, the most powerful era in Universe Ocean was the original universe era, stronger than the first and the second universe eras combined. As for the two holy lands, true gods were required to fight sector beasts, yet there were no powerful true gods in the two holy lands, so nobody cared about them. The humans had the most true gods, followed by the Ancestral God School, followed by the Space Beast Alliance. This was the internal ranking in the original universe. Most of those who became true gods, during the past trillion eras, had all been universe masters previously. The demon race, the bug race, and the automaton races had lost over 200 universe masters in the world of Jinn, all of whom had been the true elites, who had become universe masters without help from the ancient civilization. After they were killed, the demon race, the bug race, and the others only had weak universe masters left, so there were only a few true gods. As for the Ancestral God School and the Space Beast Alliance, they hadn't lost anyone, so many true gods were born in their races. Actually, there were many other races in the Hong Alliance, so naturally, there would be many true gods in that group. However, after the United Forces Alliance disintegrated, the biggest threat to the human race was posed by those other races in the Hong Alliance. After all, there were hundreds of universe masters in other races, but the humans only had 20. The power gap was too large, so the humans needed to constrain them. For the past trillion eras, the humans had been trying to suppress the other races in the Hong Alliance. If they didn't, the humans wouldn't be able to control them any longer. The humans kept suppressing the other races, so that the other races had to respect humans. The supreme beings were those who truly mattered when fighting sector beasts. After all, there were only a limited number of true gods in Universe Ocean, and without quantity, quality mattered. In the past trillion eras, 8 supreme beings had emerged from the world of Jinn, and they were widely recognized as the 8 most powerful beings in Universe Ocean. The first one was Divine, True Master from the first universe era. The second one was the Supreme Master from the Skeleton race. The Skeleton race and the Divine clan had been fighting for a long time. Skeleton Master was highly rewarded in the world of Jinn. His power exploded, and he now rivaled Divine True Master. The third one was Beikai Star Master. Previously, he had conducted public teaching in the black-striped stone pillars. He was venerated and also a robust great being. These were the 3 supreme beings from the first universe era. The fourth and the fifth ones were Juhi True God and Nine-Headed Devil Master. They were the strongest in the second era, and both were special life forms. Special life forms were revered in Universe Ocean, such a sitting mountain guest. He didn't participate in any battles, so even though everyone knew he was mighty, no one knew the true extent of his power, so he wasn't among the 8 supreme beings. The 6th one was 9 Remoteness True Master, who had endless godly power, making all the other great beings jealous. The 7th one was Primal Chaos City Leader. He had already been a shining star back when he was still a universe master. After becoming a true god, he had reached an incredible level through his hard work and the detailed inheritance from the ancient civilization obtained by his disciple, Luo Feng. The 8th one was Milky Way Horde Leader. Nobody in Universe Ocean knew for certain the extent of the power of Luo Feng. He was only a universe master, but he was ranked as the strongest in Universe Ocean. Other true gods all knew godly power burning techniques, and had machine-type valuables, yet they were still not Luo Feng's match. A trillion eras prior, Divine I True Master had still been able to fight Luo Feng. Now, all 7 great beings admitted that Luo Feng could easily defeat them all. Over the past trillion eras, Luo Feng hadn't become a true god, but he had become much stronger. At the center of Golden Sand Ocean, inside the sparkling palace, and around the crystal round table, were 8 thrones. Fruit and wine from all 3 universe eras sat on the round table. Luo Feng and the other 7 sat down. Illusion Heart, true god of you humans, and I devil god from the first universe era went to Land of Darkness, said Juhi true god with fiery skin. Milky Way, Chaos, you must know a lot about the Land of Darkness now. Primal Chaos City Leader nodded. Yes. Both Hong and I Devil God are true gods who are exceptional at illusions, and they have strong willpower. They approached the periphery of the Land of Darkness carefully, but they were quickly attacked by 3 sector beasts all at once. They survived the attacks and were safe and sound inside the spaceships, but once they got out, those 3 sector beasts yelled at the same time. The resulting invisible soul attack put them in great pain even though they could resist it. The 3 sector beasts immediately attacked them, severely injuring I Devil God. They retreated immediately. For one thing, Primal Chaos City Leader continued, the soul attacks of the sector beasts were incredible, so you must have a soul supreme true treasure, and you'll still feel agony. Both of them have willpower stronger than true gods. Sector beasts are mighty. Much stronger than them. The energy attack alone was able to severely injure I Devil God. The energies the sector beasts use are different from our godly power. Their energies can quickly annihilate our godly power. At the same time, their energies will wither away as well. Luo Feng nodded. Yes. A power opposite to godly power. Luo Feng had felt that sort of power when he had fought Great Thunderstar Tower. Sector beasts were using the exact same power, which was why I Devil God had been quickly injured even with a machine-type valuable. Both I Devil God and Hong only had mediocre godly bodies, so they couldn't be consumed. Ordinary true gods can't contend with sector beasts. Divine I True Master shook his head. How many sector beasts are there? This video will end here.